Hey guys, welcome back to Sean Does DIY. Well, it's time to add another piece to the table saw. So we've already got the outfeed table done. So now I want to put a router table over here on the right hand side. So I got this Bosch router that I'm going to mount underneath to this plate right here that's going to be inset into the table. So we'll route that out so it's nice and flush with the rest of the table. And then I'm going to add this switch that I found here with the world's largest off paddle. And thanks to the feedback and comments that I've been getting from you guys, which I truly appreciate, so thank you very much. I'm going to do this video a little different than the videos I've done in the past. We're going to go start to finish, from getting my little book out here to drawing the sketches and things like that. And then, to kind of explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, as I'm doing it. To help somebody out that might be wanting to do something similar. And also hopefully get some comments and feedback from you guys, to say, hey Sean, I know a better way to do that, which would be awesome. So yeah, I've been really excited about getting this project going, so let's get started. Okay, so we're ready to build the router table, and I see three main things we need to do. We need to build the table itself, we need to do the inset for the plate and attach the router, and then we need to build a fence for the router. So the fence, I'm just going to use the table saw fence, and it's got these nice T-tracks that are very handy. So I think I'm going to build some kind of fence that will attach to this that's easily removable. That's probably the last thing I do. I mean, obviously the first thing we need to do is build the table itself. All right, so I like to get, when I do projects like this, I get my little project book out. They're great. They're just little spiral notebooks that have graph paper in it. And then I can flip back and forth to different projects if I need to, whatever. I've already got a couple in here that are in the works, but I need my router table for one of them, so really need to get this done. All right, so let's see. So I actually have a little table saw pimp out area. All right, so here's the outfeed table. I took some measurements on that. So now we're gonna do the router table. So I'm just gonna say router table. And this way I can make notes or whatever. Obviously I put my measurements in here, kind of draw some sketches. Okay, so my initial thought was, do I just want to put the router table here in this opening that's already here? But then I got to thinking, I think it might be more support. I don't know, I'm no structural engineer, but I'm going to be using 3/4 inch plywood for the top itself, just kind of like what I did on the outfeed table. But I think I'm going to end up just taking this wing off and just make the whole table that'll sit from the cast iron to this crossbar. I'm going to leave the crossbar in because it's already, give it a little extra support on the front here. It's already got some holes pre-drilled, so that's great. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get our measurements here. We can obviously just use this for the width, but I'm still going to measure it anyways, right? So, okay, let's see. So we got, and I like using this when I'm doing these kind of measurements because, I don't know, it's just easier for me to see. All right, so let's see. Right up on the edge there. So it looks like it's 27 inches. That makes it easy. All right, so I'm just gonna draw, my little square here, rectangle, whatever size it is here. And I'm not worried about using a ruler or anything to make it perfect because I know what it is. All right, so we're gonna say it's 27 inches wide. So now we need to figure out from the cast iron to the crossbar. So we can just kind of stick it up there. Let's see. Well, it helps if I use the side that this ruler happens to have. It splits 0 in one way and then it's got a full measurement on the other side. So looks like 24 3/4. Double check that side. Yeah, 24 3/4. This side actually reads closer to 24 and 13/16, but it's probably because this one is a pre-drilled hole for the crossbar, so it's placed. This one just kind of sits on the T-track, so it's just not perfect. So I'm going to go with 24 3/4, and I think that'll be perfect. So 24 3/4. All right. So another thing we need is, I'm not that concerned about this side because it's a T-track, but on this rail over here, there's like a little lip down here that this extension sits on. So I'm gonna end up having to do like a dado type deal on this sideboard over here because I want it to be flush. I don't want to worry about using you know, washers and all that stuff. I want it flush just like this is. All right, so let's see. We can actually, just looks like we can just use that. All right, so that is, looks like 1 3/8. Because I'm just going to model it pretty much off of this because we want it to be flush with the cast iron. So 1 and, nope, not 1 3/8. What am I thinking? 1 5/8. All right, 1 5/8 deep for that. And I think I'm going to use 3.5 inch pine. I'm not going to rip it. I think it'll be fine. Because, you know, I want to be able to add the switch, and then I'm thinking I might even do like a little drawer or something under here, just a simple little drawer that put, you know, router bits and the little tools that come with the router, the wrenches and whatnot, Allen keys and things. That way it's just right here and I don't have to go searching through these other drawers going, where did I put that thing? All right, so the side with the dado is, we're going to say those are 3.5, and you know, when I'm doing these, I'm going to say I'm going to do 3.5, but I might change it, you know, as you go. It's just kind of noodling as you do it, right? All right, so 3.5 is the width of the sideboard. And then, what did I say, 1 5/8 to the dado. So 1 5/8 to the dado. And then on the dado, I'm going to actually, it looks like it's about 1/8. Let's see. The little lip here, it's like 3/16. Yeah, I mean, it's really small. Not 3/16. 16. What am I thinking, man? Okay. So I think I'm gonna actually just make that like 1/8. I mean, the saw blade's 1/8, so that way I'll give it a little wiggle room, you know, to help get it level. So we'll say the dado is 1/8, and I might make that 3/16. I don't know. Because I'm not really concerned about that, because it's just the lip to hold this, but I'm not going to be really worried about it. So, all right, so 1/8, little question mark, maybe 3/16. All right, so that's pretty much, I think, all the measurements we need. We got this dimension, we've got that dimension, we've got the little lip thing over there, and of course, I'm not going to worry about the holes and stuff until I get to installing it, because we'll just, you know, measure, you know, copy whatever this is right here to the cast iron, and then same on that rail. And of course, this side, since it's T-track, we can just kind of put them wherever we want. And then this is pre-drilled for that. So yeah, so I'm going to be using the 3/4 inch plywood for the tabletop, like I said, and I'm going to be using, you know, basically 1x4 pine, or it's 3/4 by 3.5 inches. So I know that, you know, obviously my tabletop is going to be 1.5 inches smaller on both sides, to fit that 3/4 inch, you know, the 3/4 inch sides of the box, if you will. Okay, I think that's good. So I've got a full sheet of plywood over here. I'm going to rip it down to get, you know, pulling a 4x8 sheet of plywood on a table saw like this is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to rip it down with a circular saw and get close, and then I'll get it on here and do it, you know, get the final dimensions nice and tight. Cool. All right, guys, so let's get that ripped, and then we'll get the box going. All right, be back in a sec. Okay, so I got the piece of plywood ripped to a more manageable piece. I didn't really, that's like 35 inches or something that I cut off, so I can run it through the table saw. And as I'm looking at the piece, this is the side I cut with the circular saw. So, I mean, it's okay, but I made a little oops on when I was cutting it. So I want to use this manufacturer edge as I run it through the table saw against my fence. But as I'm looking at this piece, this side is kind of messed up. It's like pieces missing out of the plywood. So I'm going to rip a chunk off, and then I'm going to do the rest of it. So I know we need 27 by 24 3/4. So we actually need, what, 1.5 inches? So we need 25.5 and 23. So we need 25.5 by 23 1/4. for our 1.5" for the side pieces. All right, so we got the basic part of the tabletop ready to go. All right, let's see, how are we looking here? Look like it's gonna fit. Yeah. Okay, so now that we got the top cut, we're gonna cut the sides for the box. And I'm just gonna use this 3/4 by 3.5 inch pine. And our box is 27 inches by 24 3/4. But we gotta remember on the saw, on that back rail, there's that little lip that we're gonna dado out. So we're gonna cut the 27-inch pieces, we're gonna cut those at the 25.5. So we have that 3/4 inch overhang on each side of the box, and the side that we dado, then we don't have to worry about dadoing the edges of the box and stuff like that. All right, so let's get cutting. All right, so we're gonna get 2 at 24 3/4 and 2 at 25.5. All right, cool. All right, and I'm just gonna cut the manufacturer's edge off of this one. All right, so the dry fit looks good. Before we put it together, I'm gonna go ahead and do the dado on the side that's gonna be right here. So we said it's 1 5/8 to the little lip there from the top. So I'm gonna give it a little extra on both sides, just to give us the wiggle room for, we can adjust the level or whatever to make it nice and even. So it's a 1/16 or so. I'm gonna cut it to about 1/8. I just kind of eyeballed it, but if you need to, you can put your ruler on there or whatever, and close enough, because it doesn't really matter. Should be good. That looks good. A pencil, so I don't know which side is which. So, here's our 1 5/8. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right, so this will be the top up here. Let's write a T on it. Cool. All right, so let's see. Should fit. Find our little groove. There it goes. Beautiful. And we got our little wiggle room so we can move it around if we need to. Outstanding. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and write out the bottom of the tabletop where the bolts are gonna go in, because from the top of the cast iron to the top of the bolt is 3/4, about a little less. but then we're gonna have the bolt head and all that. So I'm gonna think about, I think 3/16 or so should be more than enough. Give us some play, yeah. All right, so now we gotta determine where we're gonna do it on here. And I think the easiest way, because I don't like doing a whole bunch of math and stuff, I mean, we could figure it all out, but if we just do 3/4, because we know, let's see, 3/4 right there, 3/4 right there is close enough. And we could just eyeball it, but if we wanna be all fancy, we can just be all fancy. All right, there's that one. There's that one, close enough. And there's that one. All right, so this will be the bottom, all right? So that's good, we know that's there. That one's gonna go there, and that one's gonna go there. And I think, I don't know, a couple inches probably, and we'll just go 1.5 inches, couple inches, something. And then, you know, wide enough, long enough so we can get our Allen key, or if you wanna do bolts, you can get your wrench in there. You probably don't have to go this deep. Yeah, and then we'll just do, you know, whatever on each side. And I mean, you could make a little jig and all that, because I'm gonna use my little handheld router. So I'm just gonna kind of do it on here, whatever. It doesn't have to look pretty, as you know, no one else is gonna see it except for us, right? I mean, so, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my router out here, because I'm gonna be using my router. I'm gonna go ahead and put my dust mask on for this one. Good enough. All right, that'll work. Cool. All right, so now we can put the box together and get this thing installed. Man, all right. Okay, so now we can put the table together. We got the little pieces right out, we got the sides made, got the little dado thing in. I'm gonna use pocket holes to put the sides on. You could use, you could easily just, screw it on there however you want. I like to use pocket holes because they're hidden, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's get started. Cool. All right, see if it fits. How are we looking here? It's pretty good. We'll just have to do, you know, do a little sand in. Be perfect. All right, let's see which side. All right, so that's this side. All right, here we go. Let's see. So far, whoop. There's our little lip thing. Look at that. Man. I'm gonna buy that. That looks good. Get all bolted down, should be good to go. All right, we got the table built. We're almost ready to install it. The first thing we gotta do is we gotta put some holes in this back rail. Now I apologize, I had some technical issues with the video, so it's unusable, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. It's super easy. I didn't get all fancy and a bunch of mathematics and everything. All I did was I grabbed my ruler here. I kind of lined up these pre-drilled holes that were already here. These are my two. And I just kind of eyeballed the center of them. Held my little ruler up here, like so. And then I just drew a line, kind of where I want them. I didn't measure, I just said, that looks about right. Okay, and then I took a drill with a small bit on it, and I drilled straight through from this side all the way through the other side on both holes. And then I grabbed my step down bit, like this, and I just, to determine the size, I said I just stuck it in one of the pre-drilled ones. I said, okay, it's about 9/16. Drilled 9/16 on these two holes. Came over to the other side. Same thing, let's see, the pre-drilled hole is about 3/16, and I drilled 3/16 through the pilot hole that I drilled earlier. And that's it. Just remember you're drilling through metal, so just go slow. And it's easy. It's aluminum, so it was like butter. All right, so that's that. All right, so now what we gotta do is, I'm going to determine where these holes are going to go, and they're pretty much, they're even all across. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a square. I'm going to just eyeball the center, because remember we're going to drill these holes, you know, a little bigger than the bolts, so we have some wiggle room. So, and then I'm just going to mark on the top of the cast iron here where that center is, kind of like when we were doing the routing. All right. And then once we get the table in, we can mark it on the table and determine what it is. And while we're here, we might as well measure down from the top and measure from the top. All right, so it is, looks like it's pretty much exactly 7/8 from the top of the table to the center of the bolts, or the bolt hole. All right, so 7/8, so I'm just gonna write it on top of my thing here. We're gonna sand it all anyway, so 7/8. Cool. All right, let's get this thing installed and see what she looks like. All right, let's see. So this is that side. That's that side over there, obviously. All right, so we'll just, hopefully we can just slide it on here. And I removed the outfeed table because I didn't want any weight. Are we on there? There we go. I didn't want any weight on this back rail while we're doing this. All right, I'm just gonna grab a clamp and put it under here, like so, if I can manage to do this. All right, there we go. That, just kind of, I'm gonna eyeball it, get it kind of close, and I'm just gonna squeeze it on there. Not too tight. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm very happy with that. All right, I'm gonna get it as level as I can. I'm not too concerned about it being perfectly level, but this side needs to come down. If we can do this here. That loosen up the clamps. All right, we gotta loosen up a little bit. All right. Right about there looks pretty close. All right. That looks good. Nice and level on the bubble. How about this side? All right, we need to bring this side down a little bit. Oh, we need to bring this side up some. There we go. All right. That'll work. Okay. All right. Might as well put a clamp on this side too. I cover up this hole over here? Almost, good. Okay. And get that level. Let's hold it nice. There we go. All right, looks pretty good. And of course, once we get the bolts in there, we'll get it perfectly level. All right, how about that? All right, so now I'm just gonna grab a pencil and I'm gonna just mark these holes. Looks good. And of course, this one's for the crossbar, so we don't need to, obviously can't mark that one. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to mark on the table here where these, where we did our marks earlier. We know the center and those bolt holes. All right, cool. And now we have to take it off. Oh, let's get the, let's figure out where this T-track is on here. So I'm just going to mark the center, eyeballing it, and the T-track, and then we'll transfer that line across the back there. That should be good enough. That looks good. Okay, and then we'll do the crossbar later. That's easy. We'll just screw right into it. All right, move this out of the way. All right, now we got to take it off again. This one first. Cool. All right, let's see how we did here. Oh, this side. All right. Cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this one first. So we know 7/8 is our center point. Find that mark, come down 7/8 there. This one. All right. All right. Okay. So these are a little bigger. These are the 10 millimeters. So grab a drill bit and there's our, let's see what size we use there. I guess we could look at this one. All right. Let's see, these were the back. We'll just kind of do that. That'll work. It's going to be a big one. That's big enough. Cool. Let's see, one size bigger maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that one. All right. Make sure you keep it level as possible. All right. We'll see if our route lined up. Okay. See, how do we line up on the back? Pretty good. That looks like that'll work. Awesome. Check one of the bolts. Yeah, look at that. Outstanding. Perfect. All right. Now, let's get these other ones. What side is that? That's on this side. All right. Hopefully, you don't have to route those out. Okay. All right. So those are a little bit smaller. Let's see. A little bigger. Oh, not these. That should be fine. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll just transfer these to the other side, might as well, I mean, doesn't really matter. Let's see, where's our T-track mark? There. And our square. All right, looks like 1.25 inches. All right. 1.25 inches. Double check it. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to rebuild this thing. 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches. Okay. Just grab my ruler here. Okay, cool. And I'll just see. Let's go 5, 11, 17, and 22. Works for me. All right. 5, 11, 17, and 22. All right. Those are the same size. Yep. How are we looking? Looks good. The bolts will fit on that side. Looks like they'll easily fit on that side. We got our routed out. We're good to go. I'm ready to install this thing. All right, we got the holes drilled. We're ready to put this table in and be done with this part of the project. All right, but we can't use the same bolts that came with the saw because they're too short because we added the 3/4. So on the cast iron side, this is an M10 40 millimeter. On the T-track side, these are 5/16 1.5 inches. And then on the back rail side, these are M8s 35 or 40 millimeters. Those will work. All right, so I'm just going to take the 5/16 bolts and just put them in the holes we drilled. We can hopefully slide them into the T-track. We'll see. All right, let's see what we got here. Cool. That one. Excellent. All right, I'm going to get one of these started on this side. And some tools. Awesome. All right. So I'm only going to do maybe 2 on the sides here and then a couple on the front, because I know I'm probably going to end up having to take it off, and I don't want to do a whole bunch of bolts. So we'll get it tightened down, we'll get it level for the installation of the router plate. All right, so it's just like installing the other one. Let's grab another one of these, a couple of these. We can reuse the, let's see, lock washers and the washers. Cool. All right, this guy in. All right. All right, pardon me a sec. Here we go. Cool. All right. So get all your bolts in, get them tightened down, and you'll be good to go. All right, and then we get it all leveled out, just like you leveled the wing extension, the original one. So let's give it a quick check here, see what we're looking at. All right. Looks pretty good. We'll just have to raise this side up once we tighten it down. There we go. That looks good. This side here. That side looks pretty darn good already. Sweet. Cool. All right. So I think that'll do it for this video. In the next video, we'll get the plate routed out and installed, figure out exactly where we're going to put it. Somewhere right there probably. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to subscribe, that'd be pretty sweet too. You can hit that bell if you want to get notifications when I publish new videos. Yeah, cool. All right, that was a great build, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.